Jaderberg, who's a mum of 4 and an education consultant, and also a former deputy head teacher up in Barnet. Good morning to you, Lorrae.
Good morning, Robert.
You've been listening to all of this. What would your advice be?
Well, I think that Sean's given some excellent advice. I must say I was nodding in agreement with everything she was saying, actually. I think it is very much the child's decision, the young person's decision. And I had to chuckle a little when you were talking about going to open days, because my 4 was so different in that approach. One of them wanted me to go with to drive the car and provide lunch. Others didn't want me anywhere near them when they went on the train. But the visiting was extremely important, and they all came back with their own ideas about what they wanted to do, and it definitely helped them.
And would you advise getting away from home if you financially can?
I think it's very individual. I would advise any young person to do their homework, to collect their facts, and to analyse them from all perspectives, chat it over with the relevant people, parents, friends, teachers, and then make decisions. So I think it's a very individual decision that's got to be right for that young person.
I also think, but I mentioned the thing about London sort of in a social sense earlier, but I guess the other point about London is it is so well imbued with great colleges, whether you want to go and study medicine, or you want to study art, or you want to study politics, whatever it might be. London has great institutions for those. So sometimes, particularly if you're at that end of the spectrum, unless you're going off to Oxford and Cambridge, where are you going to go better?
You're absolutely right. My children had exactly that problem.
Yeah, mine's in that situation.
That's right. And by the way, congratulations for the A-level results. You must be very relieved. That is actually a really big decision for the children. When they were thinking about it, 2 ended up staying in London and 2 ended up going away.
And have you noticed a difference in them as a result, do you think?
Well, the 2 that stayed in London have done both. Some have stayed at home, some have gone out, and the decision has been entirely theirs, and I think they've benefited from both experiences and certainly learnt the value of home and home comfort. I have to laugh when my oldest comes home. He always walks through the door and says, "Oh, it's so nice to be home, it feels so warm." And I think they're learning a lot of valuable life skills by being away, and if they can spend a little bit of time, even if they're at home, being away as well. I actually we financed them to be living out whilst in London. And I think it was really valuable because they had the best of both worlds, come home for dinner if they wanted to, be out if they didn't want to. And I'm very happy not to see them for as long as they don't want to come home as well. So there's no pressure. I think that's the other thing. If a child is at home, you mustn't put pressure on them to be at home. They need to have that freedom as if they were out. And that takes quite a lot of self-control.
Yeah, you can't be telling them, they're adults, and you can't be telling them what time they can come in at night. You can't be, that sort of stuff.
Totally, absolutely. And I think that's the benefit. But it is individual, and I have always said to my children, please do what's right for you, and I will support it.
What about, from your aspect, how hard is it to wave them goodbye?
Terribly difficult. I'm one of those mums that absolutely adores being with my children, so really hard, lots of tears, but not in front of them, just hugs. And, as soon as I drive off down the motorway, I snivel a bit and put some music on and think about something else.
And in terms of seeing them, do you go there to see them, or do they always come back to see you?
We do both. I think it's really important for them that I go to see them.
Really? And they encourage that?
Yes, because they want a meal out in the evening. So, I always say the same thing. Choose a restaurant you'd like to go to, and we'll go out for supper. And because I work, I drive up there. And
so you're not just turning up to tidy their room?
Oh, no. Oh, I won't touch the rooms. Don't go anywhere near that. What I'll do is I'll say, let's go out for supper somewhere. And we do that, and they really enjoy it, and then I buzz off very quickly because I don't feel it's my place to make any judgments about what they're doing or anything like that. I'm there purely to provide a bit of support.
And what about out of term time? Because university terms are really quite short. They're only pretty much half the year or just over.
Absolutely. At term time, again, I try not to put pressure on. So I'll say, well, when would you like me to come and help pack up and, drive home sort of thing? And then really it's up to them. They will give me a range of dates because I'm working, so I need to make sure.
No, but I mean, do they come back and stay with you out of term? Or?
Yes, they do.
Yep.
Yes, they do. They'll go off and visit other people, and they'll go abroad, or they'll do other things.
So what I mean is, you can't downsize and get rid of a couple of bedrooms.
No. You're absolutely right. No, I'm afraid it's going to be a few more years. I've got one daughter who's going to be studying for at least another 5 years. So,
well, because I think quite a lot of us, at our stage in life, are thinking, well, we're getting rid of them now. We can sell up, get a little flat, and go travelling or something.
Yes, I think I've got a 10-year plan on the go at the moment on that basis.
It is true, though, isn't it? Because even though they've gone for the weeks of term time, they're likely to be back, and there's likely to be washing to do and all of that sort of stuff.
It is absolutely true. I mean, when all four of them are home, it's night and day in my household. So, the washing machine's on full time, and I love it. I have to say, I enjoy all of it when they're away and when they're home. It's fantastic.
Lorrae Jaderberg, thank you very, very much. That's our subject of the day, and I'd love to hear from you. Would you advise staying at home, going away? What were your experiences? Do you wish you'd stayed at home? Do you wish you'd left? Maybe you can attend